You do crunches every day, cut carbs, drink shakes, use that girdle that promises miracles, and your belly stays the same. The fat on your hips hasn't gone away. Your neck is still the same. You look in the mirror and think, is there something wrong with me? There isn't one. The problem isn't you, it's what you were taught to do. Most people try to eliminate localized fat by attacking the symptom, not the cause. They exercise the area they want to lose fat in, cut out foods randomly, and expect a result that the body biologically cannot deliver in that way. It's not a lack of effort, it's a lack of the right information. The body doesn't burn fat from a specific area just because you contracted the muscle underneath. That doesn't exist. What does exist are physiological mechanisms that, when activated correctly, force the body to use precisely the fat stores you want to eliminate. And that's exactly what I'm going to show you now. 5 habits that trigger these mechanisms. No restrictive diets, no expensive gyms. The 5th is the simplest of all and probably the one you ignore the most. First, the Fractional Movement protocol. How to transform your routine into a burning machine without leaving your place. The problem this solves is the false belief that only long exercise sessions count. You think that if you didn't go to the gym for an hour, it didn't do any good. Result? You get nothing done. Physiology tells a different story. Exercise physiology studies show that multiple short bursts of movement throughout the day activate AMPK, an enzyme that signals the body to use fat as fuel more consistently than a single long session. The peak fat burn isn't just during exercise, it happens in the hours that follow. Do this. Every 45 to 60 minutes of sitting, get up and do 2 minutes of movement. It could be squats, jumping jacks, or a brisk walk in the hallway. What matters is breaking the cycle of immobility, small on the outside, powerful on the inside. Second, activation of the voluntary cold system, the thermal trigger that activates brown fat. The problem here is that you've never heard of brown fat, and you don't know that it exists to burn the white fat you want to eliminate. The human body has 2 types of adipose tissue. White fat is the energy reserve that accumulates in the belly, flanks, and thighs. Brown fat is metabolically active. It generates heat by consuming this white fat. Researchers at Maastricht University have documented that exposure to moderate cold increases brown fat activity in adults by up to 15 times. How to apply? Finish your shower with 30 to 60 seconds of cold water. It doesn't need to be ice cold, just cold enough for your body to react. Start with 15 seconds and even increase the time over the course of a week. 1 minute of discomfort. Results that last for hours. Third, compressing the eating window. Without counting calories, the metabolic reset you control with your watch. The problem this solves is the confusion between food restriction and food organization. You don't need to eat less. You need to eat within a window that allows the body to enter fat burning mode. When you go more than 12 hours without eating, insulin levels drop enough for the body to release fatty acids from adipose tissue to be used as energy. And this process is called lipolysis. It doesn't happen while insulin is elevated, and insulin rises every time you eat, even if it's something healthy. The problem isn't what you eat, it's when you eat. Try this. Concentrate all your meals within an 8 to 10 hour window each day. If you wake up at 7 a.m., start eating at 10 a.m., and finish at 8 p.m. You don't need to change anything on your plate. Just organize your schedule. The clock does the job that dieting never could. Before we get to the 4th habit, I need to tell you something. If you've made it this far, you're not the type to look for shortcuts. You want to understand how the body really works. There's a protocol developed precisely for those who think like that, the White Protocol. 90 days to build a high-performance body and an unshakable mind, based on neuroscience, not willpower. This protocol isn't for everyone. It's for those who are truly focused on evolving and building a life with real meaning. The link is in the description and the pinned comment. Keep reading, because the next 2 habits are the ones that most impact localized fat. 4th, cortisol regulation. Through rhythm, how to stop sabotaging your fat burn without realizing it. The problem this solves is the invisible cycle where the harder you work out, the more fat your body retains, especially in the abdominal area. Cortisol is the stress hormone. At chronically elevated levels, it signals the body to store visceral fat, the fat that accumulates in the belly around the organs. No matter how much you exercise or control your diet, if cortisol levels are high, the body will store fat as a survival reserve. It's an evolutionary response, not a character flaw. The most effective intervention is behavioral and costs nothing. Establish a fixed sleep and wake schedule, even on weekends. Cortisol follows a circadian rhythm. When this rhythm is respected, cortisol peaks occur in the morning, when they should, and not at night, when they prevent nighttime fat burning. Consistent sleep is worth more than any thermogenic supplement. 5th, Timed hydration, the cheapest habit in the world that 90% ignore. The problem it solves is the confusion between real hunger and cellular dehydration. The hypothalamus, the region of the brain that regulates both hunger and thirst, processes the two signals in a very similar way. The result? You eat when you should be drinking water. Furthermore, research published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism shows that drinking 500 milliliters of ice water increases the metabolic rate by approximately 30% for up to 40 minutes. The mechanism is thermogenic. The body expends energy to warm the water to body temperature. Try it now. Drink 500 milliliters of water as soon as you wake up, before any meal, and 20 minutes before eating, whenever you feel hungry. He tests it for 7 days and observes the difference in appetite and energy levels. Water, every day, at the right time, period. These 5 habits aren't just theory. They're physiological mechanisms you can activate today, without dieting, expensive gyms, or magic formulas. Tell me in the comments, which of the 5 are you going to try first? I want to know which one makes the most sense for your routine right now. And if you want to go further, if you want a complete protocol that combines body, mind, and real performance in 90 days, access the White Protocol through the link in the description or in the pinned comment. It's not for everyone. It's for those who made it to the end of this video.